Hello friends, this video on NEET Genetics is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Question number 1. A man whose father was colorblind marries a woman who had a colorblind mother and a normal father. What percentage of male children of this couple would be colorblind? Okay, so even before we start solving, let us first understand the question. So here it says that there is a man whose father was colorblind. So the father of this man was colorblind. And this man marries a woman such that the woman had a normal father. So the woman had a normal father but a colorblind mother. Right? Now we have to find out that what percentage of the male children of this man and woman would be colorblind. So this is our question. So when you draw this roughly, you get an idea about what exactly is the question asking you. Okay, now let us try to understand it part by part. So let us first find out the genotype of this man and this woman, because we need the genotype of the man and the woman to find out what would be the genotypes of the children, right? Now, before that, what is color blindness? So, what kind of inheritance or what kind of genetics color blindness show? So, it is a sex-linked, it shows sex-linked recessive inheritance. Right? So, color blindness is a Mendelian disorder which shows sex-linked recessive inheritance. So, we have already discussed about sex-linked recessive inheritance. Okay. Now, here, let us first look at the man part. Like, let us first try to find out the genotype of the man. So for this man, the father was colorblind. Now father colorblind will not have any impact on the son, because if the father was colorblind, that means the father's genotype would have been XCY, where XC represents the colorblind gene or the defective gene which causes colorblindness. Now, this XC gene will always get passed on to the daughters and not to the son. So, therefore, a father is colorblind will have no impact on the son. So, therefore, what would be the genotype of the man? So, the man would be normal. That is, the man's genotype would be XY. Perfect. Now, let us try to find out the genotype of the woman. So, if you look at the woman's part, the father was normal. Right? That means the father's genotype is capital X, capital Y, and the mother was colorblind. So the mother's genotype would be XCXC, because color blindness is a recessive inheritance. So only when a woman has both the defective genes, only then that woman would be colorblind. Right? So this would be this woman's father and mother respectively. So what are the various possible gametes that they would release? X, Y, and the mother would release XC, XC. So the possibilities that their children would be somewhat like this. That is X, XC, X, XC, XCY, XCY. So basically for this couple, this father and mother, the possibility of their children would be like this. So if you just focus on their daughters, because right now we are just focusing on this woman. So this woman is a daughter of this couple. So if you look at the possibility of their daughters, so there is no possibility that their daughter would be colorblind, but their daughters would always be a carrier of the colorblind gene. Right? So looking at this, you can say that the genotype of the woman would be XCX. So this would be the genotype of the woman. So we have found out the genotype of the man and the woman. So now let us come to our real question. So what happens when the man and the woman gets married? So the man is XY and the woman is XCX. So in this case, what are the possible gametes that would be formed? XY, XCX. So the various possibilities in the next generation would be somewhat like this. That is XCX, XX, XCY, and XY. So when you look at this, so this would be how the children of this couple would look like. Now the question asks us to find out what percentage of the male children of this couple would be colorblind. So how many total male children will they have? So if they have a total of, so this would be male because it has Y chromosome, this is also male, it has Y chromosome. So out of 2 male children, 1 male children would be colorblind. So here you see this is colorblind and this is normal. So out of 2 male children, 1 male child would be colorblind. So if you convert it into percentage, this would be 50%. So basically 50% of the total male children would be colorblind. So this would be the correct option. Now it is very important that you read the question very clearly, because sometimes it asks what percentage of the total children would be colorblind. So in that case you have to even include the female child, right? So in this case it says what percent of the male children, that means total male children is 2, out of that 1 is colorblind. So 1 out of 2, which when multiplied to 100 gives you 50% of the male children would be colorblind. Question number 2. Fruit color in squash is an example of recessive epistasis, dominant epistasis, complementary genes or inhibitory genes. Now when we talk about the fruit color in squash, so there are 3 possible fruit color in squash, that is yellow, green and white. And we see that yellow and green, they are alleles on the same gene. So yellow is dominant over green. So if yellow is denoted by capital Y, green is denoted by small y. But what about white? Now whenever white is present in the dominant condition, like capital W or capital W small w, then white shows it epistatic effect. That means it hides the phenotype of yellow or green. So this shows that white is an epistatic gene which shows its epistatic effect only in the dominant condition. So therefore fruit color in squash is an example of dominant epistasis. Question number 3. If 2 persons with AB blood group marry and have sufficiently large number of children, these children would be classified as A blood group, AB blood group, B blood group in 1:2:1 ratio. Okay. Modern technique of protein electrophoresis reveals presence of both A and B type proteins in AB blood group individuals. So this is an example of codominance, incomplete dominance, partial dominance or complete dominance. Okay. So when you say that the father, now let us talk about the blood group system in human beings. So ABO blood groups are controlled by a gene I. Now this gene I has 3 alleles, IA, IB and small I. So these are the 3 possible alleles, and each individual has any 2 of these 3 alleles. For example, an individual can have IA, or an individual can have IB, or an individual can have IA small I, and so on. Now depending on what alleles do they have, it is decided what would be the phenotype. So these are basically the genotypes. Right? But what would be the phenotypes? Because phenotypes decides what blood group do they actually have. So how do we decide the phenotype? So out of these alleles, it has been seen that IA and IB are completely dominant over small I. That means if you have IA and small I, that means the phenotype would be A. That means the blood group would be A. Right? Similarly, if you have something like IB and small I, so the blood group would be B, that is B blood group, because IB is totally dominant over small I. Now, what happens if IA and IB are present together, like in this case? So in this case, IA and IB are codominant. So what do we mean by codominance? So codominance means appearance of a mixed phenotype in a heterozygous obtained when 2 homozygous parents of different phenotypes are crossed. That means if you have 2 homozygous parents, right? For example, if you have one parent with A blood group in the homozygous condition, you have another parent with B blood group in the homozygous condition. When you cross them in the F1 generation, you get something which resembles both the parents. That means neither A is completely dominant over B nor B is completely dominant over A. So both of them kind of equally contribute in the next generation. So that is when we say that two genes are co-dominant with each other, and that is the phenomenon of co-dominance. So here what would happen in this case? The blood group would be AB. It would neither be A nor B. Instead it would be AB. So for example, here we have this table where these are the possible possibilities from the parents. Let's say this is parent 1, this is parent 2. Let's say parent 1 gives you IA, parent 2 gives you IA again. So the genotype of the child would be IA. That means the blood group would be A, because both are the same alleles basically. Here IA and small I. So IA is dominant over small I. So the blood group would again be A. Here IA, IB, they are again co-dominant with each other. So the blood group would be AB. Here again the blood group would be B. Here again B. Here again AB. Here what would be the blood group? It would be O. And here again it would be A, and here it would be B. So when you look at the AB blood group, what kind of dominance do you see here? So for the AB blood groups, we see co-dominance. So in this question again, it actually asks about the AB blood group individual. So this is an example of co-dominance.
Thank you. Please visit examfear.com for free quality education. You can learn with a simple 4-step learning process wherein you can watch video lessons, you can ask your questions, you can refer notes, and you can take a free online test. We have content for class 6 to 12 on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology along with practical videos. So please subscribe to our channel for daily updates. Thank you.